Cons of the Steppe is, in my opinion, an excellent DLC, and it centers on the peoples of the steppe, of course. There was, however, one problem with it, and that's that it's almost entirely Mongol-focused with little Turkic flavor. Most of the Mongolic content is kind of just also applied to the Turks, which I suppose is fine, but at least a handful of people that watch my streams lamented the lack of flavor for the Turks. Well, I'm no expert mod maker, but I've put together a relatively small mod centered on the Gokturk Empire, which was the first Turkic Khaganate on the steppes. The mod is called Gokturk Flavor, and I could explain more, but instead, I've teamed up with notorious citrus-flavored baked good lemon cake to show off what the mod has in store. Our plan for today is to play two minor Turkic lords paying tribute to the Cumans, and to rise from the ranks as blood brothers, eternally loyal to each other, but with vastly different paths ahead of us. You see, this mod is definitely all about staying on the steppe and forming this new Gokturk Empire, including a couple new legends and some cool language and culture decisions, but it's also about expanding the Turkic experience for those that overrun a new kingdom or who leave the steppe in general. For that reason, Lemon Cake and I will pursue diverging paths where he will eventually choose a new home to settle in, and I will continue my rule on the steppes until the empire is restored. Things got off to a fun start as we were crafting our characters.
The aesthetics is like, it's like almost a 15-year-old, like, mentally checked out guy, but it's just like an absolute giant. Okay, this looks amazing.
Bro, I'm so fucking anti-Semitic, bro. I'm giving this guy like such a Jewish nose. And I'm just like, this is what I do. I make character. When I make a custom character, I inevitably end up making like a Jewish character. It just somehow.
Wouldn't that be pro-Semitic?
Maybe? I don't know. These are our characters. I am playing Uzluk of the Kipchaks, and Lemon is playing Oghuz of the Barat Kipchaks. Both of these characters are martially oriented young men with great ambitions to make their paths in life, and as neighbors on the steppe, they are sure to find power by working together. When it comes to our intentions for the run, as I said earlier, we have different goals, but before either of us can do anything, we will need to find new grazing land and create a great herd that can feed the upcoming war machine. That's going to involve the usual sort of warring and conquering, but it will also involve explaining the cons of the Steppe DLC to Lemon, who has only played the CK2 Nomad experience up until now.
Council?
Council?
Bothering with such trivialities as the council.
A cruel tie. After that expert feedback on Lemon Cake's astute observation of the existence of the council, we began our work to conquer the steppe for the Turks. There is one more explanation to give though, and that is to explain what exactly the Gokturk Flavor mod is even adding to the game, and what at least one of our goals is. One new decision in the major decision section, which is to reform the Gokturk Empire. This is going to be what we're going to be trying to accomplish in our lifetimes if we can. If not, I guess the next character can do it. As you can see, it does have some hefty requirements. But yeah, this is like sort of the first step that you take. Step, get it? Like Steppe Turks, Steppe Nomads? First step that you take as part of this mod is to reform the Gokturk Khaganate. And then there'll be even more decisions after that. But for now, this is all you'll notice that's new. Beyond that, if you look at your dynasty legacies, there will be a new legacy, the Turkic lineage legacy, which is sort of centered on like multicultural empires, horseback archery, and raiding, and like mercenaries at the end. I got kind of lazy with the last one with mercenaries. I was like, oh, whatever. But it's all about raiding, horseback archers, and multiculturalism.
That looks pretty good. +3 max size of archer cavalry regiments.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Okay, just a +2 martial. Oh, okay, right. Still gonna go blood, but anyway.
True, so true, dude. Like with any flavor mod, my intention is to ultimately provide flavor, but of course not every Turk has to make a big deal out of their Turkishness. Only the real ones do, of course. The point is that you don't have to pursue your Turkic heritage in order to make the Gokturk Empire, nor do you even in general have to use any of the content in this mod. You might just enjoy that the option is there, or enjoy that the AI can take this stuff. I've intended for it to be balanced, but yeah, of course, in an effort to make the content interesting, it's quite unique and powerful. The content of the nomadic playthrough is mostly one of preparation, grazing, and hunting. So Lemon and I started off with some hunts, and with finding ourselves some wives. I went for a high martial wife I could use to boost my martial score, which would let me win more battles, while Lemon Cake used some different criteria for his matrimonial goals.
Right, time to go find a woman.
True.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna marry this depressed 18-year-old just because I already emotionally relate to her already.
Nice. Good stuff.
She's not a good wife, but
After finding wives, swearing a blood brotherhood, and concluding our hunts, we searched for new pastures to the east. Turns out there are 2 high fertility duchies right next to us, which is pretty nice for us. We don't have to stay close to each other, but it does make fighting wars together a bit easier.
we're dead even if we. I'll let you finish your migration first. Though,
Sure, okay, let's do that.
I think yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I want to stick Dicky together. More that I want to, that looks like very good land.
It is good land, yeah. I'm gonna put on speed 4 so we can get here fast. I'll tell you when I finish migrating, and then you can start your migration and call me in, and we'll go win the war together, buddy.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Real
Blood Brothers! Blood Brothers!
Ooh, Blood Brothers gaming.
Hell yeah. Alright. I have migrated. Yes. You can start your migration. When the war starts, call me in.
Okay, I've started it. I'm off.
Alright.
Oh, I actually nice. I didn't see this part. I actually assemble.
I can probably win this war for you once I think I can I don't think you have to even call me in. I think I can
don't
just
call you in.
I think I can just join your war because I'm just like fuck it. I'll send you an offer. There you go.
No,
Oh, I'm just in. I'm just in. Holy shit!
No.
You don't even get a choice. I'm in.
You say no.
Yeah, you're done. I'm stealing all of your glory.
No, I need that prestige. Oh, that's the guy's got no men.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Oh, he scored in a friend.
That's okay. That guy's nothing. 440 men.
Yeah. Okay,
all right, let's
I'm
go
gonna
fight.
for battle.
Let's go fight. Yeah,
Yep.
we can do this. Blood Brothers together.
Oh, good. Yep.
They're leaving.
Oh, they're running. Okay,
All
gonna go. Let's go.
chase them down.
Get him.
No, they're so
Nope,
fast.
Okay.
Why are these nomads so fast?
Okay.
There
Just
we go.
coming in behind you. There we go.
Hell yeah.
That's just
Blood
not
Brothers.
fair. Jesus Christ. That is just not fair.
The 2 blood brothers arrived in their new pastures, one peacefully and one with war, but both with an iron will nonetheless. It's time to graze and enjoy the fruits of the land while they remain. Peace may not be something these warlike blood brothers are used to, but it does have its benefits. Nonetheless, there's no reason to let the other steppe lords grow fat alongside them, so Uzluk went out on some raids, looking to grow his herd beyond even what the land could provide. So too did Olga's raid after seeing his blood brother's success. However, he did not have as much luck since he wasn't quite as militarily talented as Uzluk. Well, he is quite talented, but for whatever reason, he got some random untalented Bogatur to lead the army instead of himself, while he was just looking over his yurt, admiring his architecture. Skill issue, Lemon Cake. Skill issue. Regardless, Olga's was more focused on his loving wife, who has granted him the name Longshanks, which is surely not an assertion of length in regards to anything beyond his legs, which is what Longshanks refers to, by the way. Olga's wife, Sirma, is an interesting figure in this story. She and Olga's have become soulmates recently, and she has taken an important role in the yurt as an administrator and builder. She's a true nomad, like her husband, but her talents with regards to architecture and her kind, gentle nature make her something of a rarity on the steppes. There is rarely space for compassion in these harsh lands, and maybe it's because of her kindness that she has been in a depression for most of her life, but Sirma, somehow, is still a deeply ambitious person in her own way. We'll soon see how that manifests.
Oh, I'm now gonna become soulmate with my wife.
Oh, dude, you're the most wholesome steppe lord, my dude.
I just find a depressed woman and gonna become soulmates with her because I feel bad for her now.
She's your goth GF.
God damn it.
I mentioned a moment ago that Sirma has a certain ambition to her, and what I meant by that is that one day Olga's couldn't find his soulmate wife in the yurt, and that was obviously mildly distressing. But it turns out the reason why was that she had traveled west and staked her own claim to a land even more daringly close to the Cuman Khagan. What plan she has in mind is something only known to her, but of course Lemon, the simp that he is, will support his wife. Oh, your wife is landed. Wait a minute, how did she get land? That's crazy. Dude, your wife is moving up in the world. I have no idea. She's got land in the Cumans.
Yeah, no, but she's just vibing.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
she's still depressed, by the way.
So you can never lose depression in this game, but once you're depressed for the rest of your life. It's not like CK2.
No,
that's why she's still depressed.
This is my project. She will eventually stop being depressed. I promise.
Really?
I will change.
I don't think there's any way to lose it. I believe there's actually no possible way to stop being depressed in CK3.
Oh, my wife's calling me into a war. 1 second.
Who's calling you in? She's calling you in. Oh damn, you're done.
She's calling me into a war. Yeah.
She's being humiliated. Oh. No.
Right, quick, get in as well. I'm gonna defend my wife.
I can join her war, but she has to pay me. Hold on, wait. Yeah, I have to wait till I'm done my war. I can lower my troops so that I can ask her to pay me to join the war. Problem is, she has negative money, so I might have to pay her to let me join the war.
You're gonna have to pay her so you can pay her.
Yes, right, yeah.
Yep. I think, I From the size of her enemies, I should be able to win on my own, but yeah.
Can you get there before she gets sieged is the real question. She's kind of far away.
I think so. 1 second. Okay, do I get there in time? I mean, she's on the offensive. She's beating up the guy right now.
Your wife is not willing to hire me as a mercenary, so rip.
Damn. Probably because, you know, I'm already here.
Probably because she's like super poor as well.
How dare you accuse my wife of being...
Oh, it's just how the betrayal arc begins?
She's entirely broke.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had my first son. So because our blood brotherhood is so deep and amazing, I'm gonna name my son after you.
Aww.
We
Once I get a son, I'll name him after you as well. Wait, my wife's made more allies.
Ooh.
Who's this guy? Just a random 17-year-old.
Dude, she's making moves, man. we gotta step up.
And she's just friends with him.
Okay. Friends, huh? No, she's your soulmate. She'd never betray you.
True. I mean, she's let me check the traits. Yeah, I mean, she's compassionate. She wouldn't do this to me.
Yeah, sure. We're just friends. Oh, that's her blood brother. Dude, she made a blood brotherhood with that guy. That's not just her friend.
Oh.
She has a nemesis too.
See.
You see that nemesis, dude? Dude, I love relationships in this game.
Damn, she's unironically having a better campaign than us.
She's role-playing better than we are. Insane.
Role-playing better.
Perhaps the great Sirma left the camp so as to not let her ambitions be anchored by her husband. Or maybe she left because her depression drove her to believe that she was dragging her husband down. Hard to say, but needless to say, both Uzluk and Oghuz are watching in awe at the sheer courage on display here. We were indeed flabbergasted at Sirma's performance in the game so far. She was fighting wars, making blood brotherhoods, or I guess sisterhoods in her case, making rivalries, and just generally achieving things while we were sort of just sitting around grazing. I find that when I'm playing a multiplayer game, especially for a collaboration like this one, I'm a lot more focused on chatting with my fellow players than actually playing well. Were this an offline game, I'd probably be making everyone around me tributaries and raiding everybody in sight by now, but don't worry, as the crushing march of time looms over us, I will eventually shape up. For now, let's skip ahead to some more eventful parts of the game. Comment in the comments, wife, but the W is capitalized.
What?
W, wife.
W, wife.
So stupid. I'm gonna see if I can get into like the Caucasus maybe, because those mountains could be like nice grazing land, and settled people don't take their fertility away, so that guy's settled, so he might actually have bigger fertility. And then we can maybe attack the Byzantines and we can do some stuff on them. There's actually a really funny way you can defeat the Byzantines as a nomad, and it involves the fact that so you declare a tributary war on them, and you think, oh god, they're really powerful. How do you beat them? So you occupy Crimea and that little county that's on the other side of the strait in Kerch.
Oh, and you just
and then they're going to send people by boats to attack you. Recently disembarked units take -30 advantage, which with our current game rules means minus 300% damage. So you just sit there and you like let them land on you, and they get murdered because you have really good units and they have terrible units, and it's really, really funny. So we could probably do that. A new plan is in action now, as Uzluk intends to bend the knee of the Romans, while his blood brother Oghuz is thinking of following a different path. Tribute is nice, but Oghuz intends to settle pretty soon, and he's got his eyes on the crown of Persia, which has often been the target of Turkish conquest.
Oh, I can send my wife a gift of herd.
Aww. Check out these horses, wifey. Also, I just stole your herd.
I didn't steal her herd.
That'd be funny though. I'm gonna tributary the Byzantines
now. No, steals herd, sends it back as a gift.
Mr. Steal Yo Herd.
Yep. Alright, disagreeable herders? How about you start agreeing?
So true. Uzluk expected heavy resistance from the Greeks, who did indeed send their armies to relieve the fortresses in their holdings across the Black Sea. What he was met with instead was a bumbling Greek horde trying desperately to escape their boats and get to land. It's uncertain why they were so disorganized, but maybe because they were eager to prove themselves in combat or something like that. Before any kind of camp or organization or really even the very shoes of the enemy could reach the beach, Uzluk's men were raining arrows on them. Despite the arrows, they just kept landing, and soon about 8,500 Byzantine soldiers were left as corpses at the beach, with just about 100 of Uzluk's men succumbing to stray arrows or accidental friendly fire. Accidents happen. The same thing happened when a second Byzantine fleet attempted a landing in the exact same way. These settled lords are just so predictable. This army was about 50% larger than the last one, and yet it met the same fate, after which the Basilius surrendered and offered tribute to end the genocide of his army. Uzluk now has more wealth than he could ever have dreamed of, and he's ready to share his spoils with his beloved blood brother. Using this money, the two can raise a host capable of overrunning Persia, and although sad to do it, Uzluk will have to say goodbye to his good friend Oğuz as he moves on, not to new pastures, but to new castles.
I'll declare it right now. Are you ready? But I will say, like, it's A, entirely carried by you. B, apparently he's stronger than us.
No, he's chilling, bro. We got this. All right,
I will finally not have to care about fertility.
So by the way, one thing that's really nice about me having control over the Byzantines is that you can recruit men-at-arms from your subjects, and that includes their siege equipment. So now I can get trebuchets because the Byzantines are under me. So that means that we can actually siege castles and not get like fucked, which is nice. It also means that I can recruit like cataphracts and stuff from them. Don't know if I will, because I think horse archers are kind of just better. But I can in theory get cataphracts off them, which is pretty cool.
It's such a shame in 1337 everyone forgets how to build siege equipment.
So true, yeah. The EU5 reference? Oh yeah. Despite their shared Turkic origins, the Seljuks have become fat and weak with their new Persian castles, and as such, their armies were simultaneously weak and confident. They believed their forts would keep them safe, but Byzantine trebuchets ruined that aspiration, so instead, the Seljuks made an attempt at battle. It was quite pathetic and ended with their total defeat and surrender shortly thereafter. Nice, let's see this.
Victory, a home beyond the steppe.
The Barat Khanate. And look, your culture went in there. You didn't get a ton because you didn't have a ton of Kipchak counties. The way it works is the number that convert is based on how many you own. So you only had a couple counties, but look, you put a little bit of Kipchak in there. Really cute. It's one of the best things, honestly. It's great.
Oh, I'm now a mighty Itabar. Okay, is it the kingdom of Barat?
The Barat Khanate.
The Barat Khanate.
Great. Yeah. Oh, you forgot to give me your herd though. Ah, it's fine. Whatever. You got like 2,000 gold though. The herd became gold. So you have a shit ton of money. Yeah. At this point, the two blood brothers, Uzluk and Oğuz, are in their 50s and have spent the past 30 years migrating, conquering, and winning together. Oğuz has achieved his aim as he has brought his people into new, prosperous lands, but there still remains Uzluk's ambition. He wants to keep to the ways of the steppe and found a new Turkic Khaganate, but his blood brother will be busy in Persia keeping his new domain in check. In order to become the Khagan of all Turks, he'll need to assert his power over the steppe, and that means conquering a large swath of land as well as grooming a massive herd that can graze upon it. That process will begin with an immense wave of raids across Georgia, which is a fertile country full of livestock and gold to be ransacked. While the Caucasus might not be the best place to graze, they sure are a wonderful place to organize raids from. Yet there are other stories that need attention. Sirma still roams the steppes, and Oğuz hasn't lived as healthy a life as Uzluk has. It's quite likely that he'll only get to bask in the glory of his Persian Khanate for a short period before his heirs will take over. Before Oğuz can even enjoy his retirement though, he's already under attack from the vengeful Arabs of Baghdad, who were already none too happy with their Turkic neighbors, but could at least tolerate them on account of their conversion to Islam. Oğuz remains a Tengri pagan, and as such, he is even more dangerous a neighbor than the Seljuks. The Abbasids invaded Oğuz's fledgling kingdom, but thankfully, he's still got his loyal blood brother to save him. I'm gonna go kill the Abbasid army now. I'm just gonna kill them all real quick.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So I'm off visiting a random holy site while this is happening.
Nice. Your blood brother's got you. It's okay.
Sorry, let's meet up. See, I've got 9,000 men. I'm technically
Are those mercs?
One.
Did you merc up?
No.
No, levies? Okay.
No, those are just my levies, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, these guys are screwed. I'm too strong. I'm like
That's
way too strong. It's kind of insane. I'm gonna even attack into the desert mountains like offensively, and I think I can still win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, now that I'll reinforce you.
Yeah, now that you're here, I'm guaranteed to win, of course.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
I'm getting raided while I'm helping you. No, that's bullshit.
It's cruel.
No.
Oh, I lost that while I was being.
Nice.
While I got raided. Sorry, the batch that we won earlier.
Yeah.
Wait, and I'm not about to make all of the money because there's a holy war for the kingdom from this?
Yeah, you're gonna make a lot of money on this. You're gonna make about 6,600 gold according to the enforced demands.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, because Abbasids, because they pay money based on their income and they're very rich, so.
Okay, I'm gonna go try and see if I can win a battle on my own.
I believe in you.
Oh, I'm a master debater.
Damn, he's a master baiter.
I'm a master.
Might cut right at the
Can I win this battle? No. Oh god.
Oh my
Save me,
god. Too late. I'm
Yeah,
already.
bomb equality.
I'm in Baghdad, man. Oh, and you
And
just
I'm
died.
dead.
You just died. Yeah, I paused for you.
Yep. Okay. One, and immediately I get Shadow Fame Twilight. I am.
You're Uzluk, and you're not.
Oh,
you
my
are
pause
not.
just gone.
Yeah, your herd. Oh, your herd looks like it got turned into money at least. For context, Sirma died a little bit earlier and passed on her nomadic holdings to the same son that just inherited Oguz's kingdom. Lemon and I were very curious as to what would happen to the herd of that son and to see what government type he'd have. Turns out the son became clan like his father, and the herd was converted into money. In terms of what Sirma accomplished, by the way, she was able to get up to about 6,000 herd by herself before passing it on to Oguz's son, Uzluk, who we will refer to as Uzluk the Good to distinguish him from Uzluk the Mad, which is my character. I wish I had more to tell you about Sirma and her misadventures, but she burnt bright briefly, and then more or less faded into obscurity, farming herd and vibing on the steppe. Nonetheless, rest in peace, Sirma, and your GIGACHAD depression. Like many depressed folks, she was likely unaware of how loved she was, but loved indeed was she. To zoom out a little bit though, the unity of the Kipchaks has started to buckle under the pressure of the now strongly divided realms. Uzluk the Mad will, of course, continue to support Uzluk the Good, who has inherited the mantle of his blood brother, but their cultures are not quite the same anymore. Uzluk the Mad has overseen the movement of his Kipchak tribesmen as humble pastoralists making a living on the steppe where they can, to fierce warriors and raiders living on the northern side of the Caucasian mountains. Their way of life has come to reflect that as a new cultural movement began. The Makruti culture, named after Uzluk the Mad's clan, Makruti, shares very little with its old Kipchak tribesmen in Persia, focusing on a significantly more bellicose way of life. Using these new martial customs, Uzluk the Mad will be able to secure even greater gains from his raids across Georgia.
Yeah, I've realized the best way of making money is letting people raid my land, then after they finish raiding and beating them up to take the money, they raid from my land.
Kinda true, kinda true.
New economy method dropped.
Yep.
Ah, I got declared on again. God damn it, who's this?
Nice, dude. The settled life be like.
No, that's just raiding. But it looks like declared.
Oh, you won a war.
Weird, it's like a wars thing. Okay.
Weird champ.
Oh, and now I'm hunting.
Nice.
5 minutes of settled life. Now screw this, I'm gonna...
Oh hey, the conqueror from Carpathia's got consumption. It looks like he's gonna die pretty soon, by the way. So we may see some big shakeups in Europe coming up. So I neglected to mention that this insane Hungarian scourge of the gods conqueror united Europe, and I didn't bother to say it because it was just kind of entirely irrelevant to what we were doing on the steppes. But yeah, this is Bela the Hammer. He's sort of like Hungarian Charlemagne, I guess, and he has had basically no impact on our game outside of collapsing the Byzantine Empire, which previously was my tributary. He's also from the Arpad house, which means he's descended from Almos, the legendary Magyar conqueror of Pannonia. Very cool.
I guess it's time to diverge my culture.
Yeah, maybe do a hybrid with Persian. It'd be so pog if you could somehow perhaps make a Persian vassal and then use the favor a culture decision, which was implemented by my mod. Maybe. Question mark. Oh, I can actually do the favor a culture button. Hold on, I gotta present this as if it's like I'm presenting my official mod content. Since I've got, the Turkic dynasty legacy, I can favor a culture where I spend a bit of prestige, and in return, I get the opportunity to gain 30% acceptance with one of the. It just kind of picks 3 cultures out from your empire, but in this case I only have 2 foreign cultures, so I can pick either the Alans or the Lavorids. I'll probably pick the Alans because I have less acceptance with them. They have more acceptance. Yay! Cool thing. That's because of the dynasty legacy here. The increased tolerance with cultures of your vassals. That's from this lineage. Pretty cool. Pretty epic. Meant to represent like the Turkic sort of assimilation style. Like you kind of like conquer someone and then become them. It's like the Borg. I don't know. I didn't watch Star Trek, so.
Actually sounds pretty cool. Can I press the button with the Persians?
Yeah, if you have one Persian vassal, which you might have one somewhere, but it should be in your decision
I've made
list.
everyone specifically my culture for this.
Yeah, so in that case, no. You have to have at least one vassal of a foreign culture. Also, HRE is here, by the way, under the heir of the heir of the conqueror.
Oh god, he formed it.
He did. That
might keep it
huge.
together though.
It probably will actually.
He might
yes.
keep it together, yeah. It's HRE. That is god. And it has
Insane.
Scotland, by the way. It has.
Oh, I didn't even notice the Scotland part. Oh my goodness. Well, a little bit of Scotland, yeah. That is this is the EU4 player's dream for the HRE though. Damn. Expand Empire CB
they're gonna
for
revoke
influence.
it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Revoke the privilegia. While happily raiding and keeping an eye on the events of the world, Lemon formed a hybrid culture between his Kipchaks and the Persians. We were thinking of a name for this new culture and settled on GIGACHAD, which is composed of 2 morphemes. Okay, technically 3, but don't worry about it. Karji is the Persian word for foreigner, according to a quick Google Translate, and Chak is the second half of Kipchak. Are you wondering what the third morpheme is? It's the S at the end, which denotes that there are multiple of them. It's called plurality. There is one Karjichak, and there are many Karjichaks. I even got this cinematic shot of the culture forming, and I was hoping it would look really cool. Also, damn, wow, that's so unlucky. You only got 1 fucking county converted to your culture.
Oh
my god.
That RNG.
That
And it's
sucks. It's your capital.
Control.
Yeah. No, it's your capital, so it's... Yeah,
oh, it is literally my capital.
Yeah, it's your capital, that's all you got.
I'll do vassal directives to make them all spread.
Yes, that's a good idea, yeah, spread the culture around. That's hilarious that you only got 1 fucking county, I love that. With that failure of cinema achieved, I prepared for the final moves of this GIGACHAD story. I've nearly got the herd, but I need the 40 counties of Turkic heritage to create the Gokturk Empire. Thankfully, the Khwarezmids have mostly unified Turkestan, which makes my life much easier as I can declare an invasion for that entire kingdom. First though, Uzluk the Mad will have to survive the greatest ordeal he has yet faced. The measles. Alright, I have measles, don't die. Okay, I think I'll survive the measles. Yeah, I have 68. I'm 68 and I still have fine health. I'm sure I'll survive. Copium. Also, I'm invading the Khwarezmids for all of, like Turkestan. Because I realized that one of the requirements for forming the empire is to get 40 counties with Turkic culture. So I'm like, okay, well shit, I need to like get a bunch of counties, so just real quick invade like all of this Turkish culture stuff.
I'm going to charge everyone's zakat.
Nice, yeah. I like to, usually, I find that I tend to value, like, having them like me a lot, so I always do the one that gives them less taxes, but more opinion. I forget what it's called, but... I forget what it's called. It's like the bird. It has, like, a little pigeon or something.
Mukta status.
Yeah,
Plus
that one.
30, wow.
That one's really nice, yeah. I also like to use Ikta, because it gives you bonuses to your men-at-arms, so if I'm going to war, I swap over to Ikta taxes.
I see. I can't change now, because I changed the other thing.
Yeah. Hate to see it.
Wait, you know what? I'm just going to get primogeniture.
Nice, that's pretty good. Yeah, that'd be good. I remember like in CK3 or CK2, sorry, primogeniture is like pretty easy to get in terms of like you just need to get a couple legalism laws. You just send your spy master to go and spy. You spy on the Constantinople for a bit, get the tech, and then you're good. In CK3 though, they hold off primogeniture until the last era of the game, and I think it's a good choice to be honest. It makes the game a lot more chaotic.
Absolutely, I do agree.
Yeah.
I unironically do agree with Master. I will also say we have the first Liberty to war in the Holy Roman Empire, which they're absolutely winning, by the way. Like, nice. It's not even close.
Love
the Emperor's winning that Liberty war.
Nice.
88k men. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's going to be more about the AI's ability to just, like, to get around their empire and put down all the stuff that's coming at them. By the way, I noticed that the Khwarezmids, remember they were a settled people that were in, like, that sort of, that Transoxiana Valley? They have moved their capital into Turkestan and are now nomadic. They embraced the nomadic ways. That's really cool to see the AI doing that. Yeah, they chose to become nomadic.
Also, the HRE literally, like, look at the Ukraine bits, like that. They go that far in.
Damn, like, they went to Kyiv, holy.
And even north of it, they're like in Belgrade. They're literally nice. Like the HREs. And all right, who am I fighting? They're doing the opposites around frag for round.
Oh, this time he's a conqueror though. Shit, he got conqueror. Yeah, sorry. I realized that I should have not had conquerors on so much when I'm playing with you. I realized because like. Content. You know, like it is content, but like I don't want you to get too wrecked. I will come and save your ass. We're allies, but you know.
Max, I have like 1 second. I can actually create another Gokturk Archer Cavalry men-at-arms.
Nice. Or Gokturk. Okay. Honestly, with those 4,000 Gokturk archers, I think you can just win. Gokturk Archer Cavalry are. So I took the way I made those Gokturk Archer Cavalry was I took the base horse archer and just pumped up its stats by about 15% across the board and gave it better counters. So they're just like really good horse archers that will probably carry you pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I just literally, I think, well, I mean, yeah, on that battle. But they did attack me into the mountains, to be fair.
I need to give out some territories. Guys conquered a shitload of land. You may pan over to Turkestan and see that I have suddenly become quite large.
Ooh. Wait 1 second. Oh, I see. Yep.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like mark you so I can like
pin me? Yeah, you can
favorites CK2.
You can right click me and then in the top right there's like there's a couple little buttons. One of them is a pin. You can pin me.
I see. Okay, I'm gonna pin you.
Damn, he's pinning me.
Ping.
Steppe Nomad, what are you doing?
Steppe Nomad rogue. Yeah. Okay.
Turk.
How much money do I get out? Wait, they're a conqueror, right?
Yeah, they're gonna get a lot of money from them if you win.
10k.
Oh my god! Holy shit, dude. 10k fucking gold from winning that war.
I was unfortunately I'm 150 gold, losing 40, so if you would like to invest into the land.
Oh my god. Dude, playing Victoria 3 over here with all this investment.
Literally, you know your America campaign. I'm like showing myself off as a Tarkosaurus viewer, but you know the America game you did where you played the USA and just invested into like your sphere to make everyone else really rich and friendly. Yeah, it's literally this.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I needed a little bit more land in order to form the empire, but before doing so, I of course rode south to save my blood nephew Uzluk the Good from the barbarous Arabs. It definitely wasn't because I wanted to watch him get that 10,000 gold.
Please, I'll reinvest into your country once you won that war.
Oh my god, I just destroyed him. Nomads are a little OP.
I don't know, I feel like I made really good Minotaurs here, like why am I not winning?
It's, well, I have 62 advantage is kind of a big part of why I'm winning so hard.
Ah.
Yeah.
I see, yeah, I have, 26, unfortunately.
Yeah. You can end the war, the war's over, by the way. You've won.
Oh, wait, what? Jesus Christ,
I won it for you, bro.
It's now, wait, yeah, it's now 11k.
Oh my god. Alright, well, there goes your money problems. You're good.
Alright, fair. Would you like me to reinvest back into your...
I don't even need money. I just gotta get heard. So what I'm gonna do is, now that his army's been defeated, I'm just gonna go and raid him. So that's gonna be how I handle this.
You know what? I'll find a holy order that you can't even use.
Based.
Because you're not nomadic anymore.
Not Tangri anymore. Cringe.
You know what? I'm gonna get entertainment from my Count Jester.
Oh yeah, dude. Bro, one of my favorite things to do for roleplay now is when you appoint the Jester, one of his tasks, because you can give tasks to the court positions now, great change from a patch while ago, by the way, you can abuse the court Jester, and I love to just like put someone I hate on that spot and just abuse them. Really fun. It reduces their health and gives you like stress loss or something like that. Or maybe it's dread, I forget. I use something, but it's really funny to me.
That's fair, but damn. So just to be clear, we're nice people, right?
Yeah, we are. We're very nice people. I'd have said more about that war, but as you saw, the power of the Horse Lords strikes again, and the Abbasids coughed up an absolutely insane fortune just like that. It's honestly a pretty good strategy to, if you're doing multiplayer or even in single player, wait to get declared on and then have an ally just suddenly join the war so you can extract a lot of money from the AI. Imagine if Lemon had had the Stalwart Defenders cultural tradition, which doubles the money you gain. Could have gained over 20,000 gold, which would have been insane. Regardless, from here, it was time to form my great Gokturk Empire. I've finally hit 30k, so we can put our dominance up to absolute first of all, but more importantly, the button is ready. We're ready to reform the Gokturk Empire. Unfortunately, this is a very weirdly shaped little realm I've made, so like it's not gonna have very nice de jure borders. You'll see when I form it, but it's gonna look really awkward, but it's okay. Here we go. I did not mod in notification events, so you're not gonna see a big event pop up on Lemon Cake's screen for this, but oh well, here it is. When you do make the empire, you get a decision to reform your government if you want to, so you can go to tribal, feudal, or clan. I'm just gonna stay nomadic because I like being nomadic, but you know, if you want to, you can change. It gives you a new trait called the Gokturk Khaganate, which is sort of like Greatest of Khans, but significantly weaker. I wanted to give a similar flavor, where it's like, yeah, you revived a big empire, but it's like, it's obviously not on the level of Mongol Emperor. It also gives all of your kids a lineage, a Gokturk lineage trait, which is like a weaker version of it. But yeah, here's the empire. I coded it so that the name Gokturk Empire is always there, rather than using your clan name, because I think it's just cool that way. If you look at the jury titles, it looks like it didn't take any of the kingdoms, and I think that's because I didn't fully control any of them. So the way it works is that whatever kingdoms you fully control become part of the empire, but I didn't fully control any. So in theory, if I had like 2 more counties up here in Oghuzil, it would have taken this as part of its empire territory, but it is what it is. Just make sure, I guess, you fully control your territory before you click it. But now that I have this empire, we unlock even more stuff to do, which is the revitalizing the culture, which gives access to a unique culture with some cool little unique, culture traditions, like Celestial Hunters, Celestial Riders, and Tributary Lords. These to me are pretty cool. You should definitely go and experience them yourself. You have to conquer 80 counties with Turkish heritage for that, though. And the last sort of goal to make the ultimate unification is to unite the Turkic languages. which requires you to speak the other Turkic language, have 100 counties of Turkic heritage, and 20 learning. And that makes every culture that speaks any Turkic language, they start speaking whatever your language is, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, there are the legends. We just got the Great Clan of Ashina, which is this one here. And it looks like a pretty normal legitimacy legend, but there's a few more cool things. For example, you see here, you will become the owner of the legendary Ashina clan Tamga. The Tamga is like a Turkic brand for cattle. So it's like when you mark your cattle, you have every clan has like their own brand with a unique symbol. For example, I think we can look at like most of, like I think even the Seljuks, if they're still around, you can see their brand. I don't even know where they are, but basically most of the historical dynasty coat of arms, like these guys, the Karachai, this is their Tamga on their coat of arms here. So if you were to go back in time and look at like the herd of this particular clan, you could find their brand. It would look like this. So you get access to like their little brand. It's a little artifact that gives them legitimacy. It's not too crazy. The more interesting thing is if you complete this legend, you see here it says the long lost Ashina clan's members will resurface. So the Ashina clan is the clan that actually founded this empire way back in like the 400s or whatever, and they're a dead family by the time you get to this part of the, by this date, but they do exist in the title history of certain countries like Khazaria. So you see, for example, this is the house Ashina. It's a dead family, but these are the guys that founded the Gokturks. And I made it so that like a couple characters will spawn that are going to be part of this exact family. So I was able to code it to actually scope to this house. So you get some people, you revive this family, and if you max out the legend, you don't just bring them back into the world, you also join your house to theirs. So you take your house and you turn it into the new Ashina clan. It's just basically a renaming. It's not like a crazy thing, but it's really cool for flavor. You get the coat of arms of the Ashina, you get the name, and you get their family, like their new clan members into your family, and they're super OP, of course. There's another legend, but I will not spoil it, and you get it when you revive the culture, I believe. Yes, it's called the Legend of Ergenekon. The Legend of Ergenekon is like an old Turkic mythology about how Turks were like, how they came to be. And there's a really cool event that I won't spoil for you, but for you, Lemon, since you're here, I'll tell you. It allows you to... That's basically the content for the mod. I know it's not a ton of stuff, but to be clear, I made this mod in like 2 weeks. So, I wasn't going for a super ambitious thing, because if I go too ambitious, I'm not going to complete it. I'm happy this is complete, and it seems to work very well. The one thing I didn't really get to show off, that I was excited to show off, is one of the Dynasty Legacies unlocks the Wargaming Raid Intent. All that is that whenever you raid stuff, when you burn it down, you gain Commander XP instead of gold and prestige. You get a little bit of gold, but not very much. So it's like significantly reduced, and in return, you can actually level up your Commander XP. Now in this case, my GIGACHAD here, Uzluk the Mad, he's already level 3 in all of his Commander traits, so he doesn't need it. But it's really useful for leveling up Commanders and stuff like that. Before we kind of end things off here, I'll show off some of the cultures that we had going. So we started as the Kipchaks, and they've been quite reduced, not because they've been conquered, but because they've changed in their identity, I guess. There was the original first couple divergences are really funny, because Lemon Cake's original character's wife, she made her own culture, and then his son also made his own culture. So we have like the Kunsoki culture, and I think the other one is gone. There was another one that I think is gone now. I made the Mikruchi. Well, Karluk is one of the base game ones. That's one of the base game cultures.
No, you're right.
There were a bunch of diverged cultures
Yeah.
in this whole area, but they kind of come and go. I made my Mikruti culture, which is like kind of I just went for like good traditions. I didn't really focus too much on roleplay for it. And then over here, down in Iran, my boy Lemon, he did in fact spread the culture around. His Karjichak culture, which is like Karji. We Google translated what the word for foreign in Persian is. We got Karji, and then Chak from Kipchak. So Karjichak culture. He spread it pretty well, thanks, I assume, to the vassal directives, which work really well. Yep. Thank God for that implementation. Fortunately, he didn't spread Tengrism very much, but to be fair, that's very difficult to do, so I understand that.
That's next.
That's next, yeah. But a very cool culture. We had this whole storyboard of like story where what was going to happen was we were blood brothers, that was the intention. And I was thinking like we could find some lore reason why we would part ways and he would go settle and I would make the empire. But like, it didn't really end up working out that way just because like, we didn't have a reason to fight. We just kind of got along really well. But either way, I'm pretty happy with the story. It shows off kind of the two paths, right? Where you either stay in the steppes, form the empire, and kind of go down that path, or you abandon the steppes and you get to enjoy the fact that you're privileged enough to have this cool lineage. There is a bug in the mod right now where a bunch of people can use the lineage when they shouldn't be able to, and that's because I did a weird coding error. I've already fixed it and will update the mod for release so it's not in the game. But yeah, the Ivrea dynasty should not be able to get Turkic lineage. That's supposed to be a thing exclusive to Turkic characters. Any parting comments, Levin, before we end it off here?
No, I don't think there. Like, I'm not sure what else is there to say. I mean, yeah, it's a nice mod. Definitely adds a lot more flavor to the steppe. It's just kind of impressive considering the amount of flavor Paradox already added to the steppe. So
true, yeah.
Certainly a formal recommendation yet again.
I made the mod in a response to people saying the Turks didn't get enough flavor, and I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll add some. Not a ton, but a nice little chunk of flavor. In theory, you can become Greatest of Khans after this too, but this is not the end of your. You can also just do the base game Greatest of Khans decision afterwards. So yeah.
Do they modify stack? I ask as a modify stack.
Do I modify?
Can you become Gokturk Khan and Genghis Khan?
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can have both.
Oh my god! I mean, you already have a win bot from the archer cavalry damage, but you're gonna have the new knights. The new knights aren't gonna mean much. You're just gonna have the new cavalry archers.
For sure. Thus concludes another GIGACHAD story. This one is a bit more of a simple advertisement for my mod, in the form of a hopefully entertaining collab between me and my good friend Lemon, who, by the way, you should definitely go subscribe to. I previously defeated him in a sub-race 25k, which is why I have full rights to use the soy cake version of him, but normally he looks like this. He's an excellent content creator and someone I watch pretty often when I need some EU4 content to shake up my unending addiction to CK3 and Victoria 3. Regardless, I do hope you enjoyed the story, and go check out the mod so you can discover the hidden secrets of the legend of Ergenekon Khan and make your own Turkic stories. I may update this mod in the future with more stuff, but we'll see. I tend to take long breaks from modding once I finish a project because modding hurts my brain. Anyway, thank you for your time.